Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. What's up, Fartknocker? Thank you for the Jimmy. Yeah. Well, so I'm doing a running program, and Saturdays are the long run days. So I'd rather run in the morning than the evening, because I just don't feel good at running in the evenings. I think it's because whatever I ate or whatever just doesn't sit well. So I'm gonna try to beat the sun up tomorrow so that I can run without anything in my stomach, I guess. So we left off trying to export some MP3s from Cain, who did our sound effects. So right now we've got like a beep and a bloop in the game, but Cain made us like custom sound effects. So we're going to be importing them into the game today. So we're going to take a look at what that looks like. Now we have this export compressed, and we've got all these ones we exported yesterday. So I just want to take a little look at how big they are. They're 300 kilobytes. That's pretty okay. Yeah, well, I'm trying to do the Duke City half. So I've got my mileage program is like, it's about 10 miles during the weekdays, and then every Saturday is a longer run. So I'm up to 6 or 7 miles for tomorrow, so that's gonna suck. But it'll be okay. Yeah, my 6-miler went really well, so I'm not too worried about the new one. Okay, we're just keeping stuff. We're keeping these named as Cain had them, but we will kind of take out the _01 in here. Okay, we'll just literally keep it just like Cain had it, just for consistency's sake. So we need to import these into a table. So it's only 300 kilobytes, which isn't bad, but I guess we would put it here in our repo under sounds, and then we can do sound effects and just have them there. Okay. So yeah, we'll put them in here. Okay. So our sound effects folder is, yeah, 300 kilobytes. That's right. Okay, so yeah, like a third of a meg almost. That's not bad for the sound effects. These are the only ones we had. So before Cain helped us out, we only had cleanse, coin pickup, death, hurt, and spellcast, and now we have this many. Oops. And a couple more on the way, because Cain, this was like the first thing Cain sent over, and he knocked it out of the park. So basically all of them will work for us. He's going to be working on a meditation sound, like a gong, for when we rest at a meditation idol. And then also he's going to be doing a text dialogue print. Think of like Animal Crossing when they're like, they do their little talking sound. And then a gecko hurt sound too, because we had like a bat kind of bat. That's the bat hurt sound. So we want like a gecko hurt sound to get Merksu, we're not 100% done with it. We're still crashing on a lot of stuff, and it's super hard for me to debug. So I was getting kind of fed up with it, and then Kane hit us with the sound effect stuff. So I thought it was a good time to take a break away from that. We'll implement some sound effects, and then we'll go back and fix it. We have it, so like we had it working for normal items. It's just that the inventory would like you can kind of swap different places in different inventory items in different slots, and if you put the wrong item in the wrong slot, it just initialized weird and then was crashing. So we just have to figure it out. But yeah, it is not going to be today. We still have to do it. Yeah, I got to the point where we were able to unequip an equipped item, which didn't used to be possible. But we're just not initializing the inventory system upon a load properly. So we have to do, and it sucks because it's like it's just so hard to debug, because if we corrupt the data in the load or in the save, it'll crash every time we load, and then it's hard to test things because then we need a new proper save file so that it can load from an uncorrupted one, and it's just like a whole deal. Okay, well, this is weird. We've got a bat flap and a bat flap v2. This must have been on my end when I tried to compress it different. Yeah, here, we'll keep... Just want to make sure we have only the stuff we want. Okay. This looks right. So we will leave this on screen here for me to import into our game. Okay. So we have a sounds table. Do we put it... I mean, it is a sound, but also I think we should move it to a sound effects table. So we'll do that. So we're just going to define some keys in here, and we'll just call it anything that Kane kind of named it. Oh, we'll have to add Kane to the game credits too. So this is how you import a sound object into Love2d, is Love Audio new source, and then you give it a file path. In our case, it is sounds, sound effects, and bat damaged is bat. Dude, this is gonna take so long. This is gonna be a boring stream. Yeah. This is gonna take forever. I mean, there's like nothing I can even do to make this more interesting. It's just... what it is. I'm going to rename this. I don't like the V2 in there, because that was my export name. And then what's good about this is if we name all these keys what we want it to be, then if Cain does a new pass on like Cleanse Corruption and it's a V3 now, all we do is come in here and change it to V3 and then we're good. Falling. Do we just call it falling? I mean, it's Tashio falling. Let's call it Tashio falling. Okay. Game over 1. Game over 2 and 3. Dude, oh my gosh. This is so boring. Okay, we're gonna, for the key, which is gonna be called Item Equip 1. Because we've got 3. So, this is Item Equip V1. Okay. Equip 3 item pickup. Okay, item pickup. We only have 1 of those. And then open chest. Okay, and then pause 1 through 3. Okay, and then purchase 1 and 2. Okay, push crate, push rock. Okay, we have 2 Tashio hurt. V2 and V4. Okay. Almost done importing. Okay, UI scroll 1 through 4. Then we have a use potion. Dude. Oh, warp location. That's another one we're going to be changing. So, I mean, you know what? I still do want to put Kane's original sound in there and just hear it. Yo, what up, RZ? How's it going? Yo, it's good. I mean, we're still not done with the demo, but we're adding in new sound effects. So all that we've got left for the demo really is, other than playtesting and bug fixing, we have to get the save and load function working for the inventory. And then we need to get these new sound effects in place. And then we need to build 2 new NPCs. We need to build a fisherman character down at the dock, and then a couple of new overworld sprites, and then we'll be done with the demo. So I can't even like guess when it's gonna be done, but we're gonna just keep chugging along at it. So okay, so now we've got this whole sound effects table generated from all of our sound effects. So I want to just hear how they sound in game and see how the loudness is, because we might need to normalize the sound effects to be different loudness to make it, you know, more cohesive. So what we're going to try to do is just make a list, a counter for each index in our sound effects table, and we're just going to play all the way through and just try to play every new index in there. So warp zone is the last one. Okay, so let's just hear how it sounds. So let's go to our play state. Okay. Now, in our play state, we're just gonna make a variable called sound effects count. We're gonna start it at 1. Now, what we're gonna do is listen for a key press in the update function of our play state, and we're just gonna say if love.keyboard was pressed. And we're going to say maybe C. I don't know. If C was pressed, then what we're going to do is just play a sound from our sound effects table at the index of our sound effects count. And we just play it, and then we increment our sound effects count. Okay, so we're going to hit C and just play through our whole table here. So let's try this. Oh, okay. Yeah. I always forget the time difference, RZ, but yeah, I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to get to bed too because... Oh, it's SFX all caps. I've got to wake up early in the morning too, so I can't stay up too late. We need to replace all this sound effects with capital. Okay. Let's try that. Let me see. Let me make sure this is in the right repo. We're in the one on Ubuntu. Yeah, that should be it. Let me see. We don't have them here. We've got some in the Get Sounds. Yeah. They are in there. Oh, we forgot the MP3. We got to add the .mp3. Okay. Yeah, we need the .mp3. So what we're going to do is find the .mp3 yeah, I get that. I think of the Don't Wake Daddy little game when I think about that. Okay, let's see. Come on, dude. Sounds, SFX, bat damaged. These ones are fine. The dot waves are fine. Music, sounds. That's exactly how we do it. Okay, let's see what the error message is. Can't open bat split, and that's because it is bat spit. Okay, let's try that. UI scroll V3. Yeah, it is UI scroll and UI select. So we need to do that better. There's a UI scroll 1 and 2, and then a select 1 and 2. Okay, select V1. And select V2. Okay. What? What? Keyboard's a nil value on play state. Love.keyboard was pressed. Okay. This should work. Okay. So I'm going to try to cycle through and hear the sounds. Let's turn down the music just a bit. And we'll try to see if we can hear the sounds. Son of a... play state 109, index a nil value. SFX count, okay, we can't do this because it's looking for the key. It's looking for the key at index 1 when we have to kind of do I think we have to just do a for loop. Because we don't have the access to the key just by an integer, so we're going to have to just say cycle through, and we're going to say the SFX we're going to play is the one equal to, if our key is equal to the sound effects count, then we're going to play the sound effects table at index of whatever value is in there. So for key song, okay. So whenever we hit C, we're going to cycle through our songs. If the key of any of those songs are equal to the count of our sound effects, then we're going to go ahead and play it and then increment our sound effects count. So let's try this. Okay, C, dude, C is already taken for credits. We need to do B or something. I think we can actually say this is just song. Okay, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Let's test something and just see sound effects. Can we get any sound to work? Yes. Okay, so this is Tashio falling, so when he falls in here. Okay. Okay, so this works. Let's try this again. Okay, so what we're trying to do is play the key. We're trying to play the value in our sound effects table. We're trying to play that value when the key is equal to the sound effects count. So it's not that we want to play this key. I want to say we can just say V play because V is the value in the sound effects table, and we want to just play that. And then we would want to, every time we press B, increment our sound effects count. I think this would work. I'm not hearing it. Okay. So we can try a different mode of going sound effects table at index key play. Let's try that. No, still no. Okay. Only thing I could think of is that SFX count is just not being populated with a legit number. But we're still not getting sound here. So something's going wrong here. Now we have the sound effects table, we know that. If the key is equal to the sound effects count, let's print up our sound effects count and make sure that's not screwed up. Should be 1, yeah. Okay, so it is incrementing when we press it. It's just not actually playing. Okay, so it's like half working. This isn't working, right? We're not playing the sound effects. So we were able to play a sound effect here just with B, but we need to get, dude, why can't this work? Why can't I just pass in the V here? For the value in the pairs of sound effects. So what if we go in here and I just want to see like how many things are in the sound effects table. So we just do the number operator here. It says there's nothing in the sound table. Can I print up what's in the sound table? Okay. There's a lot of stuff in there that I didn't expect for a sound object. So that teaches me some stuff about how Love2d handles that. But what if we were to say, see, because like we can't just say index 1. We can't say index 1 because we did it as a key itself. So it's like, see how it's nil, because what it's looking for is the actual key of Tashio falling, or whatever we put Tashio falling as a key. And then if we give it an actual value, it won't be nil. Yeah, but we get all this junk like looping, target, volume, instances. So this is part of all the slam library that we're using. Let's get rid of this meditate false debug here. Okay. Probably in the main. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we need to figure out how to iterate through the table and just play it. We're literally just trying to play every sound just so we can hear the loudness. So SFX count. See, it's not a it's like we need SFX count to be the key of the SFX table instead of an integer, so it's a string. So when we go to SFX count, we're gonna say, well, if and the key would be a number. So how do we do this? We want to just play each and every one of them. So yeah, it's like all we want to do is just do cycle through. How would we do this? Cycle through. We're gonna set what do we do? We cycle through our SFX table. Now, if this is equal to this empty string that we just assigned it as, yeah? So if this key will never be an empty string. So we kind of have to just... It's weird because it's not a... It's a table that we're manually defining with unique keys, and it's not an iteratable... You know, it's not 1 through 20, but it's just random strings. But if we cycle through this, we should be able to check if the key would be what? Yeah, because as we cycle through these, there's no way for us, because when we do this increment, that is just totally jacked up because we're not looking for an integer in the table here. So I guess what we could do is, instead of checking this to be equal, we're just gonna play the sound effects at index key. See, but that's... No, yeah, it's just going to be vplay, but we only want to vplay if, you know, we don't want to play all the sounds at once, because if we do, I'm kind of curious. No. Yeah. Okay, so all the sound effects at once, probably not the way to go about it, but we need a way to kind of I guess we could... Man, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time thinking about what to do with this, because the table's defined by individual keys, but we're cycling through for the key value. So this would be key 1 value, that slam audio source, which had that looping and volume and all that good stuff. But I guess what we can do is say, I guess what we can do is have a... See, well, what's tough is we can't... This V play, we need to get... I guess what we can do is say... If key is equal to whatever our last played was. Oh, yeah, I don't know. If the key is equal to, let's just say, SFX index, then we're going to play the sound at that SFX index. And then we're just going to increment our SFX index here. So if we initialize this, then we'll play the first. We should say, you know, if key is 1, which it is 1 on the first time looping through all the sound effects, it's going to say, okay, well, let's play that thing, and we also want to break, and we want to increment that index. So next time we press B, it'll cycle through the sound effects, and the key won't be equal to 2 until it hits the second index of the SFX table, at which point it'll play that sound, and then we break. Okay, let's try that. Nope. This is global. I think this matters. Okay, so we press B, we cycle through our sound effects. When the key in our table is equal to the SFX index, we're going to play the value that we're at. Yeah. So why did that not work? How come we didn't at least just play the first sound? Okay. Well, because yeah, this works. You know, if we don't have this key stuff, vplay does work. Yeah, so that does work. It's just that, yeah, when our key is equal to why wouldn't this work? Like, I can't even get it. Why can't I even get it to just do this? SFX index is 1. We cycle through. If the key is equal to this 1, so if it's on the first index of our sound effects table, we're going to go ahead and play it. Doesn't work. Okay. We got to do this different. I don't know why this is happening. Okay, I don't know. We have to do something different. So, like, what we're trying to do is go into the sound effects table at an index of whatever the string may be. So when B is pressed, we cycle through the effects table. Let's just say if the key is equal to 1, we're going to play any of them. I still don't get it, man. I don't get it. Why can't we... When we do a for loop like this, do we need an I pairs for loop? I don't freaking know, man. It's just not playing. if k is equal to 1. I think I'm too tired to figure this out, man. I just can't think about what else we would do. We can't do a normal for loop because that for loop increments with integers and our table has nothing to do with the integers. It has strings baked as keys, so I don't get why this doesn't work. Like, why can't we just play only one key of the sound effect? Yeah, I don't get why this doesn't work. Okay, let's try one more thing. Now we should, even though it's a key, I'm curious if we can do this where we can say play what's at index 1. No. Really? Because it's not stored in an index, it's stored in like a key value pair. So it can't play index 1. So I guess what we could do, okay, let me try something here. Let me just try. I mean, I'm just trying to hear the sounds. Like, I'm not even trying to put them in the right place yet. We're going to cycle through all of our sound effects songs. And we're going to have a table called play this. And we're going to say table.insert into play this. And what we're inserting is the sound that we put from our sound effects table. So by doing a table.insert, insert, we should have a way to go into the play this table at index whatever and play. Yo, Loki, what's up? Bad argument 1 to pairs. Table expected. This is a table. SFX is a table. What the heck? We're going to initialize this table, and then we're going to initialize a play this and go and copy over every soundable into the play this. We're just trying to hear all of the sounds we just imported. Nice. Okay, so this can play at an index. So when we hit B, what we'll do is say, well, you know, we have a sound effects index that starts at 1. Anytime we press B, we're going to play the sound effects index, and then we're going to increment our sound effects index. Okay. Okay. Now we should be able to cycle through and hear all of our sound effects here. So let's hear for loudness normalization. Okay. Well, they all sound hearable. So, I don't think we need to worry about the normalization just yet. So I think what we'll do is we'll git commit all this to the repo. I'm a little worried about my run tomorrow in terms of waking up at like 7. So I think I'm going to call it a night, and then tomorrow what I'll do, I still need one more song for the refinery, so I need to compose that on my synth, and then I'll try to do that before stream tomorrow, and then maybe we can just work on implementing the sound effects and maybe that new song, if I have it recorded. That's probably too much. I probably won't get around to all that, but we can at least start implementing the sound effects that Cain made us because we have the new sound effects table. So let's do a commit here. We'll add everything to the staging area and commit with a message saying add Cain's sound effects files. Yep. So we will git push and call it a night. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Yes. So we've got we went from 5 sound effects to 30 thanks to Cain. And he's working on a couple new ones for us too. So we will have it a little more unique for the demo, a little more unique sounds. And then I'm excited for the mini map because he made these UI navigation sounds for different directions even too. So he's got little beeps for the different directions here. And then the dialog box, we'll have to add that one too. But we have push crate, push boulder, we have open chest, we have heal up on potion, we've got falling, we've got bat spit, we got bat flap, we got bat hurt, all this good stuff. So let's run credits here and we will find somebody to raid. I still gotta add Cain to the credits, man. I'll do that tomorrow. Let's see. Nurse is on. We might raid Nurse. Say what's up. She's still on. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Yo, thanks, RZ. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll raid out to Nurse. She's doing some artwork. She always is super nice to me in chat and everything, so we'll say what's up and then call it a night. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll get some more sound effects implemented.